Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, as you know, it is deadline day today in the Premier League for transfers. It's still going on, obviously, but at the time of recording, me and Connor are going to review clubs' transfer windows. We're going to do it on a few factors.
Yeah.
We're going to do it on ins, outs, if the clubs needed signings, and basically how they're going to affect the team from now going forward. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Right, so let's start with Arsenal. We are grading on an A to F, so A being good, F being bad. Arsenal, probably a bit harsh for me, but I've gone with an E.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with an F.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have an F, but I thought they kept hold of some good players.
Yeah.
But they do need players, especially in key areas. And also they did have the Watkins bid rejected.
Yeah.
So-
They did attempt to at least get
Yeah, at
some
least they
players,
tried,
but I
yeah.
feel like they could have got rid of some. I mean, they got so many players in defence. You think of Tomiyasu, you think there's Tierney, you think there's Zinchenko that could have been gotten rid of to then make way for a new signing. They also rejected a bid for Jorginho from Flamengo in Brazil and would let his contract run out to the end of the season so then get him on a free. Why not cash in now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got plenty of cover in that midfield, but there's, you know what I mean, with very similar profile players as well.
250 that they have.
Exactly, yeah, and they still need a striker, and with that, I don't think they'll get the title this season. Liverpool still look like a strong favourites, so yeah, I went with an F because they needed more this January.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Arsenal's quite low from both of us.
Yeah,
On to Aston Villa. I've given them a B.
yeah, same.
The reason on paper their signings are quality, you know, Marlon, Rashford, Asensio on loan, but these players are known for underperforming,
yeah.
not living up to their true ability. So could Emery sort of get something out of them, or will they just, you know, middle out and be mediocre as they have done?
The thing is why I push this grade so high up is because the players you just mentioned, Asensio, Rashford, they've got a point to prove. You know what I mean? They've got this is their make or break for them, and that might be what gets Villa firing this season, like they were last year or the year before. You know, and they sold Duran as well for really good money.
Oh, yeah, he got
So
very good
again,
money.
that's why it pushes up this grade for me. 64 million for a guy who was a rotational with Watkins, so you can't ask for much more.
That's literally what I've got down. That
Yeah.
They got such good money for such a like bench player. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
So it could even be an A to be honest, this one, but maybe I'm a bit harsh with a B. But yeah,
No,
went with a
I
B.
think if they'd signed the players of the ability that we know they're good at, like if they were performing well and then signed those players, that for me would have been an A. But
Yeah.
because they're known for underperforming, that's why it's a B for me.
Fair enough.
Right, on to Bournemouth. I've given them a C.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they didn't need players. They haven't got rid of anyone crucial. So yes,
yeah, that's why I put it. Didn't need to improve much. Team's flowing. You don't want to bring new signings in, and that upsets the apple cart. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes,
you just want to keep it as it is. Doing really well this season, so there's no need to bring in players. So yeah. Same with me.
Brentford, same as Bournemouth, giving them a C.
Yeah. I like one of their signings, Coyote, right back. He's quite promising to be fair. They got rid of that Ruselev on loan, so they've brought in a new guy now with an option to buy for 13 million.
Kept hold of Visser as well.
Yeah, kept on of Vissa, and Wormo obviously was linked with a few clubs, but yeah, it's just a decent window, you know what I mean? Can't go wrong with it.
Right, on to Brighton next. I've given them a C as well.
I went with a D, Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just slightly lower, but yeah, go on. Why
Yeah,
C?
they didn't, lose any key players, and they kept hold of Matoma despite that massive Saudi bid.
Yeah, true.
So that
true.
for me sort of, cemented them at the middle of the road.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like they've just started to drop off last 5-10 games. Their defence isn't looking as great. Obviously, the big loss to Nottingham Forest 7-0.
Yeah, that was.
It's never good. But it's not just that game. Lewis Dunk has shown his age. I think this season he's not been as good as he has in previous years. I don't think he's great overall, but he's not been as good as he has been. Veltman's 33 now as well, so maybe you want to get a youngster in just obviously they've got Lamptey there already, but maybe a centre back or a right back is needed. So yeah, I went with a D. It's not the worst window, but I feel like they could have.
Yeah, they could have added.
They could have had 1 or 2 players.
On to Chelsea.
Yep.
I've given them a C as well.
I went with an E.
Really?
Yeah.
How comes?
I just don't think they've addressed the problems they have. I mean, you got like Robert Sanchez, who has been awful this season, probably one of the worst keepers in the league. And I don't know. I don't see like them, being or stating a mark in this transfer window like they usually do. Like the Tell and Nkunku deal fell through, which is unlike them because Nkunku looked like he wanted to leave. Tell was, he needed a move basically, and he finally got his move, but. Chelsea, they're known for just getting the players in, no questions asked, and going out there, but they haven't this season. And I don't know, I just feel like they need to guarantee that top 4, and they haven't.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of teams fighting for that. Newcastle, City, them. And they haven't addressed their issues. Yeah, they haven't addressed their issues, so that's why.
I mean, that's good reasoning, but for me, the reason I put a C, they got some players out that they weren't using. Vega and Felix gone out on loan.
Yep.
The Sassy is between Villa and Tottenham at the minute, so that's another player that isn't favoured that could be heading out the door. They bought back in Chalobah.
Yeah, that was
well.
a good bit of business. Yeah,
and he's been impressing. I don't know why they got rid of him in the first place. I thought he was a quality player.
Yeah.
But they just they're thinning out that squad slowly but surely and getting it right.
Yeah.
Which is what Chelsea need to do. And I think with your point of the number one, I think they're just going to ride it out until the summer and then go big for a big goalkeeper.
Yeah, but I feel like they need top four. Like Cole Palmer can't be playing Europa League football for another year, or not in the Champions League for another year. And they've got other players in there who shouldn't be playing that type of football.
Maybe they'll give Jorgensen a chance.
Maybe, yeah, why not? I mean, Petrovic when he got given a chance,
he was actually
too bad.
right, to be fair.
Yeah,
right. On to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Common theme. I've given them a C.
Yeah, same.
Good signing of Roman Esse.
Yeah.
15 million. He's a good young player who can grow and develop with this young squad.
Yeah.
And the Chilwell on loan deal on paper is great, but if he can keep fit, it's a B window.
Yeah, definitely. I think because he's shown that quality at Leicester, he has,
and Chelsea.
Yeah, and Chelsea. So it's just whether he, as you said, stays fit. I mean, as a great signing. I just said, it's just okay window. It's nothing too punchy. They didn't need too much. They're having a good year considering their start to the season was awful.
They've always been slow starters, though, Palace.
Yeah. So I just went with a C, middle ground.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, on to Everton. It's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But I've given them a D.
Okay. Yeah, I went with C.
I mean, they did sign Alcaraz from Southampton on loan. But I was reading somewhere, I don't know where, that apparently they need to sell players to get players in.
Oh, okay.
So, they haven't got the funds to go out and buy players that are needed for, let's be honest, a relegation battle.
Yeah.
But with Moyes in now, he's stabilised and he's got them scoring goals.
Yeah.
I think they'll survive.
That's why I put them on a C because they on paper they need signings, but Moyes is making it work with the players he's got.
Yeah.
So why upset the apple cart? And bring in new players when these are doing just fine. They're beating Leicester 4-0, a relegation rival. So that's what they need to do.
Tottenham 3-2.
Exactly.
Well.
Yeah, that's all they need to do. So Moyes has stayed with the ship, and C.
Yeah. Right, on to Fulham. Another C for me.
Yeah, same.
No massive signings, but they've kept hold of some good players, and that's what they need to. Like you said, not upsetting the apple cart. That's all they need to go and push up the table.
That's it. They're on course for a top 10 finish, so that's
definitely
good for Fulham, and they probably, as you said, go into the summer with more, intent in the transfer market and get a few new players in. So C with me as well.
Right, on to Ipswich. I've gone with a B. I was really deciding between a C or a B, but I have gone with a B.
Yeah, I went with an A.
Really?
Yeah, I like their window, but
the only reason I did not give them an A
is
because they didn't sign a goalkeeper.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Muric, did you see him in the weekend?
No.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
Absolute dog shit.
So I know just another week for
Muric. Shot straight at him and he just let it in.
Oh, lovely.
But good signings. Ben Godfrey, defensive reinforcement. Jadon Philogene, very highly touted coming out of Hull. I know he was originally from Aston Villa, but he made his breakthrough at Hull. And if they do go back down, he's a quality Championship player.
That's
he can do it in Championship.
Yeah, that's why I put it. He's probably one of the best players in the Championship if he goes down.
And this really impressed me. It came out of nowhere. It's Julio Enciso.
Yeah.
Who was a couple seasons ago linked to Chelsea and Man City.
That's it. Yeah.
So and he looked bright against Southampton. They were just unlucky.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good window for them. They've added well, but for me, they needed a goalkeeper.
That's fair enough. Maybe I did punch up a bit with this grade, but I did give him an A. As I said, got Enciso, Godfrey, and Premier League proven. They know what it takes to, that Premier League standard. Philogene, great signing. Even if they go down, he's going to be great. And I feel like they just show that they're trying to at least battle the relegation. Exactly. They're not just, going down. They're going down swinging. Basically, that's what I'm trying to get at. Apart from the other few teams below that are coming up, but at least they're trying to, stamp a mark and trying to get and stay in the league. So
and they're not adding too many players.
No.
So
exactly.
Obviously they didn't go down, but how Nottingham Forest when they came up and just added they were just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Ipswich aren't really doing that, and that's why I think they'll be good even if they do go down.
Yeah.
Right, on to their relegation rivals with Leicester.
Yeah.
Giving them a C. Not much activity either way.
I've given them an F.
Really?
To be honest, yeah,
Oh.
I feel like they're trying to get out of relegation right now, and they're not bringing anyone in January when they've got a new manager who probably wants new signings. You know, I guarantee he's not happy with certain players that are in the team, and it just shows a lack of ambition, which is so unlike Leicester, because Leicester FA Cup winners, Premier League winners, and obviously played. I think they won the Community Shield or something at one point, or in the Community Shield final.
Yeah. Quotas.
Yeah, but like it's just someone like Leicester, you know, just happy to go down, accept the parachute payment, and then come back up. Like it just shows a lack of intent, a lack of ambition. So I gave him an F.
That is why the fans are not angry at Van Nistelrooy, they're angry at the board.
Yeah, and I can't blame them.
Right, on to the league leaders with Liverpool. I've given them a E.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Obviously they did well to keep Trent, despite the Madrid hounding.
Yeah.
But they haven't added anyone to the squad. Going into a tough second half of the season, you think they're going to have Champions League, FA Cup. They've got the Carabao Cup against Tottenham Thursday, or whenever you're watching this. And they need. I know they're a good team, but they need depth. This is why Man City were so good for so long, because you had depth.
Yeah.
You know, a player would go out injured, you're like, oh, we can just chuck this guy in.
Yeah.
And what has even pushed the grade lower for me, haven't sorted out the contracts.
Yeah,
true. Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, who've been key players this season.
Yeah, true.
Surely you'd want to keep them at the club.
No, you would.
If they weren't top and doing how they are,
they
would be F easily.
Yeah, I mean, I gave them a C because they're doing what they need to do in the league. They look to be clear in the league, going to win the league. But as you said, with the contracts, I didn't bear that in mind, to be honest. That's their main thing this season, isn't it? Like all they've been talking about is Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent, and
every week in the media it's something about one of the three.
And they need to get sorted. They haven't, and they're waiting and waiting. And the longer they're waiting, the longer more clubs will be interested and more putting bids in for them, you know, and turn their heads.
But anyway, let's go on to Man City.
Yeah,
I've given them a B.
Okay, I gave them an A.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a bit biased.
You've done well to bring in some reinforcements. Big spenders as usual.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is me being harsh. Obviously, you know your squad more than I do.
Yeah.
But I don't think they massively improve your squad. I feel like you're just adding players in just for reinforcement.
Yeah, so with the centre back signings of Kujanov and Victor Reyes, I feel like
Reyes is confirmed now.
Yeah. They're for the future. They're not for right now. I know Kujanov was thrown into the mix in the Chelsea game, and obviously he can't even speak English yet. It's never going to end well. But yeah, Marmoush as well, one of the most exciting players in Europe this season. We get him, and he looks great on the ball. He looks so more direct, and we know he's got that clinical instinct in him. And if you give him a chance, he will bury it. And it's very different to our other wingers. Doku, yes, he's great at dribbling, but that end product he lacks. Grealish is the complete opposite of Marmoush. He's so patient and not what we need at the moment. And so that was a great signing. Got rid of Walker as well, which I think was really good. One of the worst seasons he's had.
I mean, for me, I don't know if they didn't replace him because it's a thing you do as I'm used to as City.
Yeah.
But will Rico Lewis probably take his place?
Maybe, or again, one of them centre backs might drop into right back. You know, we're known for that, putting centre backs in our full backs, and they're doing really well. So
yeah, I mean, you've got Haaland on that long-term contract as well.
Yeah. It's another great one,
yeah. But for me, until they start settling in and performing, it's still going to be a B.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, you scored more than I did.
Fair enough.
Right, should we go on to your rivals, Man United?
Yeah.
What have you given them?
I gave them a B. I like that window.
Yeah.
Because, go on, what did you give them?
I've been harsh. I've given them a D.
Okay, well, I gave them a B because they got rid of Anthony, a player who is not good enough for the team.
True.
He's gone to Real Betis. Got rid of Rashford, who didn't want to be there. Amram said on multiple occasions he preferred he'd one of his staff to
he was like 65.
Yeah, exactly. And got a young promising fullback from Lecce in Serie A. So I think it's a good window. They needed a left back, playing Mazraoui and Dalot at left back, which they're not.
Yeah.
Got in a left back, so I don't think it's too bad. But I don't think it's too good either.
Yeah.
They've done what they needed to do, so it's a B for me.
I think I might have been a little bit harsh here with D.
Okay.
But obviously they did get rid of, like you said, Anthony and Rashford.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of players they need to get rid of in that team.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't think it's a January job. But you think of the players they could have got rid of, Casemiro, Xerxes. Nothing seems to be happening.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's probably a summer job. So maybe I've been a bit harsh with D.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just think they've done enough to warrant a good grade, so I went with B.
Right. Newcastle.
Yep.
I've gone with, I don't know if it's harsh or B.
I went with D as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the only outgoing I've really seen is Almiron.
Yeah.
So they're down a right winger, which they need. You know, I know he's not brilliant, but you know, it's depth.
Yeah.
And you know, the season they're going on to have, you know, they're in that top 4 battle, like you mentioned previously.
Yeah.
They could be in a cup final. You know, pushing for Europe. You just need all the depth you can get.
Yeah.
And they're starting to show that patchiness again.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing that holds them back really is then PSR thing, because you always hear it with Newcastle. Maybe they can't spend, maybe they've got to sell before they buy, you know. So
that's probably why I've been a little bit hard.
Yeah, maybe, but I've got to get the same grade as you. They need to get at least 1 or 2 players, even a loan deal, a few loans or here and there, just to push them up a bit, because Chelsea, City, them as well, they're all pushing for top 4, and it's going to be a tough battle come the last 10 games. And as you said, that's where the depth comes in.
Yeah.
That's where the depth comes in, and you know, players get injured, all that stuff. So I feel like they just needed 1 or 2 signings, but it's not the worst window.
Yeah.
So
on to Nottingham Forest now.
Yeah.
I've given them a C.
Same.
They don't need anyone. They haven't got rid of anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, they bought back Wayne Hennessy on a
I feel like he's been there like 50 times. The man, he goes in and out of there all
but
the
the
time.
thing is, it's depth that they needed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're having a good season. I don't see how they can add to the team. Like you said,
That's
we
it.
keep mentioning, it's upsetting the apple cart. You don't want to do that.
Exactly.
I mean, they had the Vissa bid rejected, but I don't think it's like one of them that are like, oh, they've missed out on him.
Nah,
they're fucked.
yeah.
Like, they're not. They've got Wood doing well. Also, Gibbs White's doing well. They're all doing well.
Alanga, Hudson
Alanga,
Doyle,
they're
so
fine.
They don't need Vista, but it'll just be a good addition.
It would have been a very good addition, but perhaps it's summer they go and rebuff.
Maybe, sees all round.
Yeah. Right, on to Southampton. Again, another C.
I went with an E.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they just recruited championship players, you know, getting ready for which is good in a way, which is why I pushed out a little bit. I would have given an F, but they just, again, it's a similar situation with Leicester, just lying down and accepting the relegation. But it might be a bit harsh, but yeah, I gave them an E.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I gave him a C is because they got rid of Burton Diaz, who could have helped get some goals.
Yeah.
But he's also a good championship player, so when they go down, he will probably still be there and can help them. Right, on to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because their injury crisis has forced this, but I've given them an A.
So have I. I'll give them an A.
It's just because they've, you know, their key areas they've fixed. You know, they needed a centre back. They signed Danzo, who, if you don't remember, I recommended for Brighton.
Yeah.
And the fee that they signed him for was a fee I said, cost Brighton 25 million.
There we go then.
So, there you go.
He got Champions League football lens as well, so that shows that he's got the quality.
He's a big boy as well. Like I mentioned, he's like 6'4". You know, he can play out from the back as well.
Yeah.
He's quite quick as well for his size.
Yeah, and got a sub goalkeeper as well, Kinski.
Yeah, he's been okay.
Yeah, I much better than Forster. You know, yeah, that's what you need, an upgrade. And Tell as well, just come in. So it's a good player, a player who I think they've got sort of similar profile players to him already in terms of like your Son, your Richarlisons, but it's just an exciting player. You know, it's a loan, it's a risk-free signing. Why not? You know, why not go in for him?
Exactly.
So yeah, I gave him an A as well.
Yeah. So for me, they win the transfer window because they fixed their big problems.
Yeah, maybe.
So Archie Gray can now have a rest from playing centre back.
yeah.
Right, on to my club, West Ham. I've given us a C.
Okay. Yeah, I went with a B.
Let me hear why you're giving us a B.
Well, you had such a good summer transfer window, I feel, and you got the players in that you needed to last season, and I don't think there's any need to overhaul again and get 4 or 5 players in. You got a striker which you needed. Fulkrug is in and out of injuries. Antonio obviously had that horror leg break, and they needed a striker. You got one, and I think that's all you need. I think it's the issue with West Ham. It's not the players. It's the stuff behind it. Yeah, the system, the tactics. So that will come in time, but yeah, for me, it's just a decent window, so I gave him a B. Yeah, I mean,
on the striker signing, on the face of it, it's a good deal. You know, Evan Ferguson, one of the you know probably best young Premier League strikers. He's only 2021 still.
Yeah, probably around that range. Yeah.
But he hasn't been great in like the last couple of months. And he is the type of player, typically at West Ham, that has flopped. You know, the big man target striker.
Yeah.
But then again, Graham Potter got the tune out of him, and we do have the players to give him service. So, for me, this window depends on how he performs, because he's been our only main signing. Last but not least, on to Wolves.
Yeah.
I have given them a B.
Yeah, so have I.
I mean, they did sign a centre-back, Agbadu.
Yeah, I've seen a few games where he does a decent centre-back, to be fair. Yeah.
Obviously, that's what they needed.
Yeah.
And they haven't lost key players either. and they managed to keep hold of Cunha.
Yeah, that was one of my big reasons why
Yeah.
I pushed him up a bit. Yeah.
Because I did originally give him a C,
Yeah.
and then I thought, hold on, the teams that were after Cunha, you know, Forest submitted a club record bid.
Yeah.
Arsenal were chasing him down, and
Yeah.
they managed to keep hold of him, and he signed a new long-term deal.
That's it. Yeah. So.
Somehow it isn't A, but if they just sign a couple more players,
Yeah,
then
obviously they're fighting relegation, so they needed
Yeah.
to sign players. They signed Agabadu, which looked like a good signing. Maybe if they had one or two, it'd be an A because they need players. So yeah, B was just the right mark for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's the end of the video, guys. Do you agree with our opinions on the transfer window? Who's won the transfer window? Who's lost it, in your opinion? Obviously, there's still loads of signings going on. The deadline is 11 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
We're recording this about 6, so
Yeah.
there's still plenty of time left. But yeah, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll catch you next one, guys. See you later.